Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And on this edition, we're going to be giving our final thoughts about the Saints' Week 7 victory over the Seattle Seahawks by a score of 13-10. You know, Who That Nation, they have a lot of people that had something to say about this game. And we're going to be talking about the game, of course. And we're also going to be talking about Jameis Winston and, some of the backlash that he's still experiencing, even though he's having a pretty solid season. But thank you all so much for filing in. If you didn't get a notification before the show, it's probably because I just went live right away. I didn't put a timer up. I didn't put a scheduler up or anything like that. So if you didn't get a notification, that was the reason why. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this game because, the Saints got the victory by a score of 13-10. And, of course, people have their reservations about the game. A lot of people thought the game was boring. A lot of people thought that it wasn't interesting. Some people think that this game just opened up a floodgate of problems for the black and gold. I look at the situation that the New Orleans Saints were in. I mean, you're playing in Seattle, one of the loudest venues in football. I mean, you're playing in the rain, and you basically are playing with a bunch of unproven, undrafted free agents and guys, that are not have found themselves as a professional just yet. But it just seems to me that individuals are still out here like critiquing and analyzing this team with a fine-tooth comb. And they're not realizing what I feel like needs to be realized. And that is this team is finding ways to win in spite of the fact that they're limited. And I think that members of the Who That Nation, not all, but some of them have this false sense of reality of what football is supposed to look like and what a really good team is supposed to consist of. When people look at good teams, they have a tendency of looking at it offensively and the ability to put up a bunch of points in order for them to win games, and also to have these stylistic games where, they're just out there just putting up points. They're coming up with all this different offensive innovation, and they feel like that is the reason and that is the keys to victory. I just think that the years of offensive efficiency and the years of offensive production coming from Drew Brees and the way that Drew Brees and Sean Payton constructed this offense collectively has blinded and clouded the judgment of many members of the Who That Nation. Because we have watched this team for 15 years under Drew Brees go out there and put up a bunch of points. But the biggest issue was, before I even did the State of the Saints podcast back in 2018, the biggest issue that we had as Saints fans was the Saints had a really good offense and they didn't have a good defense. I'm going to say that again. The biggest issue that we had was the Saints putting up a bunch of points offensively and didn't have a defense that can stop anybody. But now you fast forward to 2021 and the sides are reversed. You have a team that is defensive oriented. It is driven by its defense, and the offense is putting points up on the board. Maybe not a lot to be desired by some fans, but enough for them to have more points than their opponent at the end of the game. And everybody seems to feel like the New Orleans Saints, all hope is lost. And I just feel like people are looking at this all wrong. Good teams, playoff teams, successful teams find ways to win. I'm going to say that again. Good teams, successful teams find ways to win. Not the sexiest win. Notice I ain't say to win sexy. Notice I didn't say to beat, to put up 100. They find ways to win. The New Orleans Saints have been limited all season long due to injuries, suspensions, and all of the things that can possibly go wrong with a team. You got a hurricane that came through that blew them boys out of New Orleans. They living in a suitcase. They living out of a suitcase, in Texas. And they were away from their family and all different types of distractions, and they still found a way to be a cohesive unit, so cohesive that they have started 4-2. When you didn't have your offensive player of the year wide receiver Michael Thomas. Deontay Harris is in and out of the lineup. Traquan Smith is in and out of the lineup. Eric McCoy is in and out of the lineup. Teron Armstead is out of the lineup. Quan Alexander is out of the lineup. Marcus Davenport is out of the lineup. Do y'all need me to go on? And this team has found ways to win, and yet people are still not convinced that this is not a good football team. I mean, I just don't understand that. Like, do you honestly feel that if the sides, if you take this team, and let's just say if you're the Chicago Bears and you're going through a situation like this, do you think that the Chicago Bears can weather the storm? Probably not. You look at the Miami Dolphins and them in a situation like this, they'll be even worse. So what I'm saying is sometimes you have to look at how a team is constructed and the way that they approach the game. And a lot of us are so blinded by history, so clouded by history, that we feel like that is what New Orleans Saints football is. But they don't understand that times change and you have to adapt. You have to adapt based on what you have available. You have to adapt through the quarterback changes, defensive changes, coaching changes, running back changes. When you have a team like the New Orleans Saints that was driven by one man for 15 years and he is no longer there, and that guy was the cornerstone of your team, of course the team is going to look different. Of course, the quarterback that is coming to replace him is not going to be the quarterback in which we lost. There are very few situations that happens. And I don't understand how people can't see that. I'm saying people, man, we they calling a radio station down there in New Orleans. Man, I don't know about Jameis. I don't know. He overthrowing folk. Drew Brees was one of the most accurate quarterback of all time. Do y'all understand it? If Jameis Winston overthrows somebody, he's not Drew Brees. Drew Brees is the most accurate quarterback in NFL history. The NFL has been in inception, has been created for 102 years. It has been created for 102 years. And this man is the most accurate quarterback of all time. I want y'all to fully understand what you're saying here. When you say, man, Drew Brees would have did that. He's the most accurate quarterback of all time. And when this man goes out there every single week, you're looking at him and you're waiting for him to make a mistake. You're waiting for the bottom to drop. And you don't have an appreciation for what this dude is actually doing. Jameis Winston has won 4 games in a row without turning the ball over. But we so adamant on trying to put up 30 for 30 in his Tampa campaign and all that kind of stuff because we just don't want him. Like, if you can't see that this guy from week to week goes out there, might make a mistake one week, and he learned from his mistakes and does things to correct that, you don't want to see it. Because you're so hell-bent on getting him the hell up out of town to probably try to find Ian Book. Or maybe you're a Taysom Hill supporter. Maybe you fall into that category. So you don't feel like this guy is worthy enough to, to be the successor to Drew Brees. But I can tell you what, I've seen some quarterbacks play throughout the National Football League this season and seasons past. And I can tell you this, he's not the worst quarterback I've seen. Man, he's not. But I mean, I'm looking at people talking about, man, what you think we're going to do next year? And he ain't it. And I'm like, the dude is on pace having his best statistical season in his career. And that's not good enough for some of you other fans. Oh, we're going to run Alvin Kamara to the ground. Do y'all understand that offensive schemes change? And what team is not going to surround their offense based on their best player? You think the Titans care about Derrick Henry and how many carries they give him? This guy carries that team each and every week. You think Christian McCaffrey, even though he's been dealing with injuries, you think Carolina, well, man, I don't know about that. No, they're going to try to put the ball into the hands of their playmakers. That's the way it works. It's football. That's why those guys get paid the big bucks. That's the reason why they become these cornerstone players. because the franchise wants to be able to depend on those guys. That false sense of reality in a Who Dat Nation, that them days of yesteryear that we just want to hold on to. And when every New Orleans Saints player that we done released and went to another team, we want them to find their way back home because we love ourselves from nostalgia. That's not always the answer. What I'm saying to the Who Dat Nation, for those that are out there, I just need you to really, truly understand this. This is a really good football team. All things considered, with their back against the wall, the things that they had to endure throughout the entire season, and this team is in second place. And they can be a half a game back if they beat Tampa Bay from leading the division. And you haven't had your all-pro, all-world receiver out there and several starters that have been cornerstone players for this team for the last 4 to 5 years. And yet people want to feel bad and whine and boo-hoo and talk about what the Saints don't have. Like, honestly, the Saints have overachieved over these last 6 games that they played. They overachieved. The Saints are a great overachieving team. I mean, take a look at it. All the things that they went through. They are overachievers. And I think that we need to have an appreciation for this coaching staff and these players that go out there and put it all on the line when they play. But like I said, man, if you are not looking at this guy and how different he is and how he's trying to change the way he plays the quarterback position, you don't want to see it. And there's no hope for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that this dude can do. There's nothing. There's nothing that he can do to change your mind because you already hell bent on wanting him to fail. It's crazy. It's crazy. You have people out there that are so delusional that they're calling as if they're watching Stoney Case back in the 90s or Scott Mitchell. They're calling the Detroit Lions network. They act like they got this or something. Like, I had to look at this dude's stats the way they talking about this dude. I'm like, huh? What's going on here? Like, man, I don't know, man. The Saints just don't look as explosive as they once did. I'm like, this dude got 14 total touchdowns and 3 picks. Like, you serious? We talk about some of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. Dak Prescott, as of right now, got 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So he has more passing touchdowns than Jameis Winston, and he has 1 more interception than him. And then you got, Tom Brady, who, in Tampa, who throws the ball all the time. He has like 21 touchdowns as of right now. But they throw the ball all the time. The fact that this dude has 13 touchdowns when the Saints are more run dominant than they ever been in as long as I've known Sean Payton. I mean, this dude is still up there with some of the, top quarterbacks when it comes to touchdown and interceptions. I mean, I just don't know. Like, you're not going to get 20 points off a deep bomb. It's just what it is. You're not going to get 20 points off a deep bomb. It ain't going to win you the game. It's not like he go back to pass 75 yards and that deep bomb going to win the football game. If that's the case, bombs away. But that's not how football works. The dude is doing what's necessary in order for them to stay in the game and for them to win. If he's doing that, what the hell the problem is? I guess if he was out here rolling to his right and throwing the ball across his body, or, doing no-look passes, all of a sudden now we talking, because now we can go into our barbershop and brag on our quarterback. All I know is this man is not turning the ball over, and he's not putting his team behind the 8 ball. And the slaw that those guys have at the wide receiver position, this guy's out there making them boys look like something. I don't know what else y'all want. I'm serious. I don't know what else you want. But I'm going to read some of your comments. Ray says they had time last year and lost both regular season games. Davenport had that dude on roller skates all game. He a beast. Yeah, he definitely has improved. Like people have the Saints in the quarterback need category. I mean, look, I look at some of these other teams out here. I mean, Miami, Philly, you know what I'm saying? The Giants from time to time. You know, like I know Daniel Jones beat us, but a lot of people don't think that he's the answer. You know, you look around, you know what I'm saying, the National Football League. Some of these other, you know what I'm saying, other teams that's out here struggling at the quarterback position, guys not being able to get what need to get done. Chicago, Detroit. I mean, it can be a lot worse. But I don't understand. Like, how is this dude in this category? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't like. I guess because it's not explode. Like, people want excitement. You know, like they want excitement. They want something they can be excited for it. And if it's something that's not exciting, then they try to downgrade it, right? If the Saints were 4-2 and they was throwing the ball all over the place, and Jameis was throwing for 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, but the Saints was like throwing the ball all over the place, they'll make it seem like it's the greatest thing ever. I don't understand that. They're winning. Like, that's the point. Like, that's the key. Like, you know, I know a lot of people don't like Floyd Mayweather. Some people don't like him, right? But they don't like the way he fight. They say his fights are boring. His fights are boring because he don't go up in there trying to brawl. Like, you know what I'm saying, bare knuckle brawl in a back alley. He says the object of the game is to hit and not be hit. You know what I'm saying? The object of the game of football is to have more points than your opponent at the end of the game. You don't get style points. I keep telling y'all that. You do not get style points. This is not the BCS. You win, and you know what I'm saying, and you get the heck up out of there. Who cares if you win by 3 touchdowns? Like, come on, man. The Saints have blown out teams in the past. We feel good for a couple of days, but they got to play the next week. I mean, who cares? Like, at this point, why should you even care? What you should care about is them actually winning football games. People need to put some respect on Jameis Winston being 4-2 with Walmart stockers for wide receivers, and he's not turning the ball over like people thought he would. He's making good decisions, and he's doing what he needs to do. He's far from the issue. AJ, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It just seems like people mad. Like, it seems like people mad that this dude is not doing what they wanted him to do. Like, they were so ready to put this dude, 30 for 30 and, like, turn the ball over. And now he's not doing it. And then all of a sudden it seems like they mad. And now they're trying to, like, this is the classic damn if you do, damn if you don't type situation, right? So the problem was Jameis Winston turned the ball over too much for a team to stay in the game or a franchise to be successful. The guy is not turning the ball over. Oh, he's not turning the ball over, but he's not throwing as much. Well, what do you want him to do, right? You want him to throw the ball 35, 36 times where you know it's more susceptible to get picked because it's in the air more times. So that's what you want, right? You want him to throw the football more. It's like this, right? It's like this. If you're not a 3-point specialist, let's just say, you know what I'm saying, like you good from the top of the key. That's your limit right there. You're not a good 3-point shooter. But you out there, I'm talking about, man, you killing it from the free throw line, fade away, anything within 20 feet, you straight. You know what I'm saying? But you can't, you know what I'm saying? You start knocking down bricks when you hit the 3-point. It's like somebody saying, well, man, he good, but he can't shoot no threes. Why would you shoot threes if you're not good at them? If you're out here working the team with tools, with fadeaways and 20-foot jumpers, why in the world would you try to step back and shoot threes when you know you limited at the 3-point line? So why would Sean Payton know that if you put this ball in the air 30, 40 times a game, and when you don't have to, is more likely to get picked off? Why in the world would you do it? So once again, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't, if you Jameis Winston. If he doesn't throw interceptions, he's not throwing enough. If he start throwing enough and he start throwing interceptions, well, he's exactly what we told you he was. Like, what do you want? What do you actually want from this dude? Like, I really don't know. The dude is playing good. You know what I'm saying? He's cutting down on the turnovers. He's playing more conservative. He's making better decisions. That's what everybody wanted him. That's what they wanted to see him do. It's as if they know that this dude is a risk taker, and they want to see him take risks for their amusing and viewing pleasure, that he can throw an interception so they can come on TV the next day to say, I told you so. I told you. And that's what some Saint fans want. That's what y'all want to do. I told you. They want to come on shows like this. I told you, TJ. I told you were talking about Jameis. I told you seen that interception. That's all y'all want. But now the dude ain't doing it. Oh, man. Well, all he did was throw for 225 yards. All he did. They won. But all he miss me with that, man. Damn if you do. Damn if you don't. If the dude start throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game and he start throwing picks, then I guess y'all be happy then, right? Andy Clark, thank you very much for $5. Said Drew Brees didn't play good, and I don't know how many playoff games. Half of them was his fault. I'm glad to see new blood at quarterback. Look, Drew Brees, towards the twilight of his career, towards the tail end, yeah, he left a lot to be desired when it comes to the playoffs. Okay, I mean, it is what it is, but people pretend that didn't happen because he gave us all of this. He gave us all this upfront money. You know what I'm saying? Like Saints fans, they some of them like forget about that because Drew Brees gave us all that upfront money, and it became borderline blasphemous to talk about Drew Brees in any negative light, no matter how horrible he plays. Yeah, okay. Keep that lie alive. Not here on this show. Patrick, thank you very much for $5. Says, what up, TJ? Can you give me that promo code for Manscaped? Messed around and brought my pumpkins to the wrong patch. Well, Patrick, thank you so much for the $5. For anybody that want to check out Manscaped, go to manscaped.com and use the promo code State of Saints. You'll save 20% off. They got some good items, man. They got some good items. They got some new body wash and deodorant products coming out real soon. So y'all be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, manscaped.com, use the promo code State of Saints. All right. Let me scroll back up. I missed a few comments. If I didn't read your comment, feel free to put it down again. I'm gonna strolling down a little bit further, but I'm not so close at the top. So I know some people probably put some comments in. So if you want to put your comment that you probably put when I started, maybe like about 5-10 minutes ago, then you can feel free to put it down below. Matthew says it's funny how we forget the days of Danny Wolford and Jim Everett and Aaron Brooks. J-Bo is exactly who and what we need, nothing but support. Matthew, is because I've mentioned this and I say this on the show all the time. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but I feel like it just needs to be said. You know, like we are prisoners of Drew Brees' success. Some of us don't really remember or don't have vivid memories of any quarterback before Drew Brees. Some of us do if we're like in our 30s and 40s. We know about some of those terrible quarterbacks that took place. Now, I'm not saying that this is a disclaimer. Just because we had those bad quarterbacks don't mean that if we get something that's good and decent, we shouldn't critique it or talk about it if it's not up to snuff. But what I'm saying is, if you look at quarterbacks in the league, if you look at the way some of these quarterbacks are playing, Jameis Winston is not the worst quarterback I've seen hit the field. I'm telling you right now, some of the best quarterbacks right now, some of those quarterbacks that y'all look at and y'all wonder and you wish and hope and pray that the Saints are actually, you know what I'm saying, had. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to look at their circumstance. Look at all the weapons Tom Brady got, right? He's doing a really good job out there. Look at all the weapons Dak Prescott got. You know what I mean? He got Michael Gallup. He got CeeDee Lamb. He got Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? He got Jeff Swain. He got all these dudes. He got Zeke throwing out the backfield. You got all these different dudes to throw to, right? Tom Brady, once again, Chris Godwin, AB, Mike Evans, Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard. You know, you can throw Leonard Fournette in there and catch a ball out the backfield. Somebody tell me the fact that Tom Brady, 21 touchdowns, Dak Prescott, 16 touchdowns, and you got, with 13 passing touchdowns, a quarterback who has not played with his number one in his first game with who's supposed to be his number two, but you got a bunch of undrafted, unproven free agents. Tell me somebody out there that's really killing in the game right now with limited, undrafted free agents and unproven receivers like he doing right now, that's out there making it work. Please tell me. I mean, this dude, like, based on the stats and what people are putting out there right now, like, you can argue and say that Jameis Winston has overachieved in the Saints uniform this season. Like, seriously, this I don't think, like, have the Saints even had a 100-yard receiver this season in any game? I don't think so. If they did, it was probably because of a long touchdown by Deontay Harris, and maybe he had a couple catches. But I don't think any receiver went over 100. Maybe Alvin Kamara, but he's a running back. That's crazy, right? This dude is overachieving, and that's what I don't understand. What people can't see, this dude is overachieving. Like, bruh, you cannot put any quarterback in this situation and think that they're going to succeed. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. I don't agree with it. I don't buy it. You got to have a knack for, you got to have a certain skill set or a certain ability to be able to work with guys that are considered mediocre, a bunch of role players out there. And he's making it work. And the fact that he has more touchdowns than interception is a testament to how solid this dude is right now. I like that we're the underdogs. We always play great when we are. Look, I have no problem with them being underdogs. And quite frankly, I'm glad that they are. Because like many Saints fans out here, well, I don't say many, but a few Saints fans, they're waiting for the bottom to drop. They're waiting for these guys to fail. They're waiting for Jameis to fail. They're waiting for Jameis to cause the Saints some level of collapse, you know what I'm saying? Some type of calamity. That's just what it is. They're waiting for that. And you know, man, they got a lot of people that's mad. I never seen, like, I'm dead serious, man. I never seen a reach. I'm talking about a reach of Stretch Armstrong proportions on the show Get Up this morning. Like, I'm dead serious, man. I'm like, it's as if they, it's like, man, look, well, we just gonna go up here, we just gonna throw something on the wall and we just gonna make it stick. Yeah, I mean, they were talking about the Saints this morning. They were talking about Jameis Winston. And then they brought up like Jameis Winston, you know, the Saints getting Russell Wilson instead of Jameis Winston, and you know, the Saints offense is unspectacular. It's like they're completely like just clueless about the fact that the Saints don't have any wide receivers right now. And you know what I'm saying? They had all these guys being hurt. It's like they're clueless. But I don't think they're clueless. Who that nation? I really don't. I just feel like they think, well, it is true that some casual fans are dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being serious. Some casual fans are dumb. You got people that are out here that will believe anything that they say, right? I don't need to believe in the Saints because they aren't throwing for a whole bunch of yards. People will actually believe that. Like, people will actually believe that because a team isn't throwing for 1 million yards a game that they're not good enough to be in the playoffs or make a run. I'm like, man, what are y'all doing? What are we doing here, man? What are we doing? Don't go to Brian. Brian says Drew Brees is the best quarterback the New Orleans Saints ever had. I mean, that's the understatement of the decade, of a lifetime, Brian. I mean, the best New Orleans Saint player, period. And Anna says, right. Keen Arthur says, TJ, when has the media ever cared about content when it's a player they don't care for? That's true, Keen Arthur. They don't care about that because they care about narratives. They care about narratives. Like, there's certain players that they want to elevate because there's this level of excitement that player may give them. You're always going to hear players like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes in conversations because they're such dynamic and exciting players. They're must-see television, right? So those guys are known for being human highlight reels. But then you have somebody like Jameis Winston, who has thrown a lot of interceptions, turned over the ball quite a bit in his career, and that's the narrative, right? So they're not going to let him shake that. I'm just being serious. Like, it's late. Like, honestly, it's lazy booking, okay, for some of the viewers out there that watch wrestling, you know what I'm talking about. Lazy booking. For those that don't know, lazy booking is okay. There's no surprise that wrestling is not real. The matches are predetermined. They know who's going to win. They call lazy booking like, two guys fight, right? On Monday night, right? They fight. One Monday, the one guy wins. The next Monday, the other guy wins. Okay, they call that lazy booking. The narrative of Jameis Winston not being a good quarterback is lazy. Like, yeah, it's so like it's as if we ain't got nothing to talk about right here, so we gonna roll out some Jameis Winston information. And we gonna talk about how he turn the ball over. That's just something that they're always gonna put there, and it's something that this dude is never gonna be able to shake because they ain't gonna let him. And it's lazy. Like, no, I don't even think they're really doing their due diligence and looking at this team. They couldn't have. Like, if you go back and watch that footage, there's no way in the world that those guys watch Saints football. And I feel like this: if you're not watching it or you're not doing your research, then I don't feel like you need to be talking about it, because that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible to the viewer, the viewer that's not a Saints fan, and just viewers of the National Football League and football fans in general. Like that is so irresponsible. But you got a lot of irresponsible media people out here, and they don't care. They don't care how it sounds. They don't care where the bullets fall, so to speak. Long, you know what I'm saying? As long as they land. Drew was selfish towards the end. I don't want to say he was selfish. I think that he wanted them to go out on top. And the Saints tried to make that happen. We need to stop comparing Jameis to Drew. They have different styles of playing the position. Yeah, Eric, I just don't think that you need to compare them at all, because one guy's legacy has already been written and another guy just trying to write his own legacy. And I don't think a lot of us have gotten, away from that, understanding that clearly. Who that TJ and family? What's going on, Chemo? Ray says Skip Bayless is talking Tampa Bay to cover the spread. Wow. Excuse me for yawning, man. Been a long day. Ray, man, I don't care nothing about no Skip Bayless, man. Skip Bayless, greatest spin doctor of all time. I mean, he's going to always have a job till he decides to retire because he's so good at his job. I'll say this, man. Like, I say that about Skip. Skip is one of the OG spin doctors out there. I mean, this dude is leashed on to LeBron and the Cowboys throughout his entire career, and have made like a 30-year career of being on television. I mean, it's unbelievable. He done got himself about 2-3 new contract deals in the future. I mean, future contracts. $10 million here, 15 here, 20 there. Like, so this man that leased on to LeBron and the Cowboys, and he been on that rocket, and he gonna continue to ride that rocket till he can't ride it no more. Keen Arthur says, TJ, who is a wide receiver we can go at realistically before the deadline, and what would you give up in the trade? I ain't trying to give up nobody in no trade. If you got somebody out there in the streets right now, then you go out there and you get them. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't talking about nobody, no role player. I'm talking about a guy that can give you a $150. You know what I'm saying? I said this on Twitter. I'm tired of all these Kyle Korver, JJ Redick, John Paxton type players, man. Like, I'm serious, man. I'm tired of all these role players out here. I don't want somebody that gonna just give me a 3 in crunch time. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I need somebody to go out there and give me 20 points. And these boys ain't they ain't doing it for me. I need a wide receiver that's gonna give me 100, 150 yards that I can count on to do that. That's capable of doing that. And if they're not doing it, then I don't want to talk about them. I hear people talking about, man, well, the Raiders got rid of Willie Snead. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I like Willie Snead, but hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm talking about here, man. Like, we want to hold on and latch on to these guys. We got to stop with the guy at the liquor store mentality that we got. You know what I'm saying? We can't just, like, we don't want to just go to the liquor store because we know that old man that's going to be out there singing songs going to be out there. Like, we fall in love with this nostalgia, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we fall in love with this nostalgia. Like, I get it. Like, there were some good players for the Saints, but Come on, man. Like, these dudes then went places 4 and 5 years and got banged up on at other places, and now we want to see them boys, you know what I'm saying, like limp on back to the Saints, right? So we can cheer for them. And they're supposed to give us that same type of production they did when it was about 25, 26 years old. No, sir. Okay, give me some dogs, all right? Give me some rough riders. If you can't give me that, I don't want it. I'm serious, man. We got too many puppies out there right now. You know what I'm saying? We got too many puppies on the field right now. We got too many Similac drinkers on the field right now. Too many Infamil drinkers on the field right now. I need some dogs. I need some grown dogs, okay? I need some whoo, 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 whoo. Okay, I don't need no I don't need none of that. Okay, I need some real dogs. All right, enough of these puppies. Give me some dogs. Give me somebody that's gonna put up some points. Give me somebody that's gonna get some yak. Give me somebody that's gonna stiff on somebody so they can break free for a touchdown. If you're not giving me that, I don't want it. Okay, put it back in the box, seal it up, send it back to Amazon via UPS or FedEx. I don't want it. I don't want nobody else that's just going to be out there giving me 2 catches and 15 yards. I don't need nobody out there thinking in their head, you know what I'm saying, how many steps they taking before they have to make that cut. 1, 2, 3, cut. No, I don't need none of that. Give me somebody that's going to be able to go out there and win their matchup. If you're not doing that, then I don't want you. And y'all should get tired of that junk too. Y'all should get tired of this Sanford Arms type of stuff we got, man. We digging in the crates right now, man. We had Suda Salvage. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. We at the Salvation Army. We at the Goodwill, okay? We at, you know what I'm saying? We there early in the morning at 6 or 7 o'clock when the bin comes out and all the good stuff that they get in be at there. We running into the store trying to find, you know what I'm saying, the best thing that they have to offer. I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of digging in the crates. I'm tired of looking in the streets. I'm tired of looking at these guys that I have to look up and do research and wonder if they good. Find me some dogs, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, like find me some dogs. If you ain't got no dogs, man, I don't want them. Don't need them. Patrick Pumpkins, thank you very much for the $2. Says, we was at a wrong patch, my dude. Thank you for the $2, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, I know y'all tired of that. I'm tired of it, man. We need some dogs, man. We need some dogs. Frank, thank you very much for the $4.99. Says Jameis has met and at times exceeded my expectations. Jameis is getting more comfortable each week, and you see the passion and drive out there. Yeah, I mean, dude giving you everything that he have, man. He giving you everything that he have. Kim says, man, don't even watch the Saints versus Bucks takes. Ooh, chill. I strolled down past them. Man, I don't pay attention to them takes, man. I don't. Look, you got to play the game. You got to line up against the other team, and you got to back up everything, that's being said. What up, TJ? What's going on with Adam Troutman and Traquan Smith? They suck. They so trash on the field for real, for real. Offense secondary are needed to get it together before on Sunday come in because Buccaneers want to eat them up and spit them out in the dome for real. They need to get some help straight up. Well, the defense, they play really good, and they match up real well versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And me personally, I just feel like Sean Payton's a better coach than Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians had manna fall down from heaven in the form of Tom Brady. And let's just leave it at that, man. Look, I know Tampa fans want to believe that, you know what I'm saying, their team is just all world and all that. And, man, they can be beat. Y'all secondary suspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all throw the ball way too much. And if y'all just haven't met the right team yet that can be able to match up with some of these receivers. The Saints do really well, okay? The Saints know how to neutralize the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs, they took advantage of some turnovers, which most teams would do. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the playoffs, you're good enough to be able to capitalize on turnovers. You don't make the playoffs if you're not at least a decent team, you know what I'm saying, or even a really good team. So, good teams are going to take advantage of turnovers. But for people to just think, oh, man, like the Saints did beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice in the regular season last year. You played them 3 times, and it was a tough game, you know what I'm saying, because, everything was out of the window. Everything pretty much was shown. So, I mean, you play a team 3 times, but does not act like the Saints can't beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's possible. You know, like I said, Bruce Arians had manna fall down from heaven in the form of Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is making the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a credible franchise. You know, because of his presence, people believe in Tampa Bay. Justifiably so. I mean, a guy has 7 Super Bowls. But I'm not going to pretend and act like the Saints can't beat Tampa. Like, yeah, it's not like Tampa just unstoppable. Like, we all know that the Saints, can beat them. Darrell says if we make the playoffs and win a game or two, Sean Payton should be coach of the year. If the Saints make the playoffs, Sean Payton should be coach of the year, in my opinion. Hard to believe Andrews Peters, a 3-time Pro Bowler 3 years in a row. Yeah, it really discredits the Pro Bowl, in my opinion. Do you think if we make the Super Bowl this year, your starting kicker can come back? No, he won't. Will Lutz not coming back. No, I mean, if he out for the season, he out for the season. So we got to hope Brian Johnson pans out. I don't know how strong his leg is. Funny thing is, Jameis Winston don't even care what people think. He is just living his dream, wife, kids, football, career, and community service. That's living for real. Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing about it. And that's what I respect about this dude. And I say this all the time. For a guy, that gets talked about and scrutinized as much as him, for his ability to still look in the mirror at himself and go to the podium and talk to the media and talk about how good he believes he is a testament to his confidence, his self-esteem. Like, man, because he gotta hear that stuff. He do. Wide receiver coach must go to bed every night thinking, my God, my wide receiver corp is garbage. They can't even get separation to even have a chance to make a catch. Mike, the wide receiver group of the New Orleans Saints ain't it. It ain't happening. They terrible. They god awful right now. All right. People like, well, I feel like I believed. And nah, bro, they ain't it. They ain't it, bro. You had 7 weeks, 6 games, and 7 weeks to prove that you are that team, that you are that receiver. They ain't it, bro. No, I'm sorry, they ain't it. It ain't happening, man. It's just not happening. All right. I think we are dangerous when we run the no huddle. I think Jameis does a really good job in that 2-minute drill where there is a lot of no huddle. I agree with that. I'm on the round table on Hoodie Jube channel. Okay, man. Shouts out to Hoodie Jube out there live right now. Shouts out to you, man. Josh says Winston is getting better every week. Yes, Callaway, who is decent, and Harris, when healthy, is a great deep threat. Is his best option for wide receiver. The Saints messed up waiving Murray for salary cap. Let me see. Kamara is not in every down back like Henry for the Titans. We should use our fullback more in the running game. D-line needs to pressure like that every game. If we didn't have Winston, we would have a worse record. Ja, I agree with some of what you're saying right there. I don't think I don't too much. I don't too much have a problem with the whole Latavius Murray situation because hindsight is 2020, right? I mean, if you're looking at Tony Jones and the way he was playing in the preseason, and even like when he was running in the regular season in that game versus the Green Bay Packers, I mean, he looked pretty doggone good out there. He looked like a solid backup running back. I mean, the Saints didn't know that he was going to end up being hurt and, being out for the season. But hopefully you have a guy like Lamar Miller who's kind of similar in stature and, a little bit faster than Latavius Murray. Maybe he'll be able to pan out once he gets a few weeks under his belt because Devine Ozigbo, hell no. Okay. All right. That's his new name. Devine, heck no. Okay. Because that ain't it. Okay. That guy, if we playing Madden, that boy vision is at a 10. I mean, that boy ain't got no vision. I'm talking about this man looking like Fred Astaire out there, all that tap dance. Savion Glover or something, you know what I'm saying? Like this man looking like Sandman Sims from the Apollo, all that tap dancing for a -2 yards. Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, look, hindsight is 2020. I understand where the Saints was coming from. They felt like they needed some younger blood. They were trying to go cheaper. Tony Jones did prove that he can actually run the football really well. So I ain't got no problem with it. I don't have a problem with them doing that. I think that if Tony Jones didn't get hurt, I don't think we even would have been thinking about Latavius Murray because I think he would have had a solid season as a backup. I'm gonna stroll down a little bit. Brian says we don't need to trade for anybody if we want a player. All we have to do is offer the team 150 million, and they will give us the player. Well, I want to know where that 150 million coming from, man, because we ain't got it. Okay, we are part of that proud fraternity called Broke Five Broke. We ain't got it. We got about $10 million, and they gotta make it work. They gotta make that thing stretch. Got to be like your mama during those tough times back in the day when your mama go to the stove. It's about 3-4 of y'all. She's like, man, we got to go to the stove. We're going to try to get this meat and this little bread and get this mayonnaise. We got to make it stretch to, I mean, look, I'm just being 100. Growing up as a kid, we was on them food stamps. And y'all know how it goes. Some of y'all, everybody ain't had money their whole life. You had to make them things stretch. You had to make them stretch, to the end of the month or to the beginning of the month. So you had to go, get a stove. We probably had about $5. Got to get that meat. Got to get that lunch meat special with the mayonnaise and the bread. You have to make it stretch. So that's what the Saints got to do. They got to make it stretch. TJ, is Quan going to stay a backup to Warner? I don't know. I don't know if he will. But, I mean, they're going to have a good little rotation. I can see him playing. But I think that it'll be more helpful to have Pete Warner in and having him like alternate with Quan because Quan does have a history of being hurt. So, if you have a linebacker on the field that can be able to make some noise, that can kind of limit some of his snaps, that can keep him a little bit fresher down the stretch when you're really going to need his play. Bears not using wide receiver Perryman. Man, that's another guy, right? Guy that's always hurt. You know what I'm saying? In a downfield threat. This guy ain't about to give it. Like, I want people, look, we gotta we got too many role players out there, man. We need some game changers. Like, you need some guys that can put up 100 yards, man. Like, win their matchups with separation and be able to get you 100 yards if need be. If you got Michael Thomas coming back, he's being double covered. You need somebody out there that's gonna win that man-to-man cover. Okay, I don't need no burners. Okay, we don't need no burners out there. Okay, we can get guys that can get behind the defense. They got that already. That's probably one of their best attributes. If you have a bunch of guys that can run, Saints got plenty of them. Just these guys that's fundamentally sound is the issue. You're not getting no separation. Like, man, bro. I don't want no more. I don't want no gimmicks. I don't want no more gimmicks. I don't want no gimmick players. None. I need somebody that can run that route tree. If you ain't running that route tree, I don't want you. TJ, what wide receiver would you trade for? A wide receiver that I would trade for right now, if I could, would be Odell Beckham Jr. because I feel like he's being wasted out there in Cleveland. They just got too many guys out there, and I just feel like he gets lost in the shuffle. Another guy would be Allen Robinson, who has just been, I don't know, man. He just out there right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, in Chicago, just wasting away. Like, just wasting away. You can easily do something with him, but I don't know. They don't want to do anything with him. And another guy, that I would like to have would be somebody like, I don't know, man, like D.D. Westbrook or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody of that caliber. Somebody that can go out there and make, and make some plays. I have to say something like that. But I don't want any other players. I don't want any of these other players. I mean, I even throw Sammy Watkins up in that thing. I know he got a contract with Baltimore not too long ago. But, I mean, like he out there setting the world on fire. I don't know if he on the trade block, but I'm just saying if this was wishful thinking. But guys that I feel like the Saints that can benefit would be Odell Beckham Jr. or Allen Robinson. I think that Allen Robinson would be a good fit with the New Orleans Saints. Based on his skill set, I think he'll be a good receiver opposite of Michael Thomas. I think you can do some things with that. I really do. I also, man, to be honest with you, if I'm making a trade too, I'll try to see if I can go out here and get OJ Howard. You know what I'm saying? He ain't really doing too much of nothing with Tampa. I mean, they got Cameron Brate. And I know he's been injured over the last couple of years, but can't be no worse than what Adam Troutman Slowtail been doing, right? You know, so somebody like that. But Allen Robinson, you know, and Odell Beckham Jr. would be the two guys. Golden Tate paired with Harris. I like Golden Tate, man. That was somebody that I was like really excited about. You know, I was really excited about at the beginning of the season. I thought that he would be a really good chain mover. But I don't know, man. Like I wouldn't mind him. But if they didn't have Kenny Stills, I probably would say Golden Tate. But Kenny Stills got like a skill set similar to that of a Golden Tate. Now, I know he hasn't been playing like it because the Saints ain't been lining him up how they used to line him up. Like they used to have him in a slot. He used to do his work there. A lot of Kenny Stills' work is done on the outside, and it just seems like he's in a game when the Saints want to go deep. So, seems like he's pretty one-dimensional with this time around with the Saints. What up, TJ, bro? Who that? Who do you think we got to? Let me see. Get our offensive good. Who that? Who can we get to make our offense good? We need prayer. That's number one. Number two, we need Michael Thomas to come back. And man, we need Deontay Harris to come back. Like, I think Deontay Harris and Michael Thomas coming back would be huge for the Saints. Because Deontay Harris, I mean, he's a good receiver. He can take the top off the defense. He's tough. You know, the people say all the time, if he was a little taller, he'll really be a monster. I think his size and his weight kind of hinders him from like really living up to his full potential. I think that injury is going to always kind of occur in his career because he's so small. But Michael Thomas, Deontay Harris, I think those two guys, if they come together and make the Saints much better, and you add that maybe, you know what I'm saying, with Callaway, maybe the Saints will be able to do something. But look, if you can make a trade and it don't cost you an arm and a leg, why not? Why not, man? Let me see. No way Tampa trades with us, though. That's the only problem. Yeah, I mean, that's true. You know, but hey, man, I mean, I've seen stranger things happen. You know. Maybe like in the offseason. I remember when the Cowboys, you know, I think they released or traded DeMarco Murray to the Eagles or something like that. You know, like, so I guess it would happen all season. Of course, they wouldn't do that. It would have to be Tampa like releasing OJ Howard or something like that. So I don't think that would happen. But I'm just saying, like, if they could, that was just wishful thinking. The ones I feel like could be a possibility based on who we got in that accounting office with Kai Harley, it'd be Odell Beckham and Allen Robinson. Because they'll make that happen. They'll make that happen. No way Tampa trades with us. That's the only problem. I said that I would go after OJ Howard. Nah, bro, get your own players elsewhere. I mean, look, y'all ain't using them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if they can benefit the team, why not? Why not? Isn't Golden Tate 45 years old? I want to say like 33 or 34 or something like that. Hey, TJ, how come we haven't used Lil Jordan instead of White or Kenny Stills? Because he's not good. I mean, it's just what it is. Like, if you've been on the practice squad those many times, you're not good enough to see the field, and you're not doing the things you need to do in order for you to be a consistent starter. Like, I think Kevin White being out there in Seattle, first off, I just think that was just a power move by Sean Payton. There was a nationally televised game. Kevin White, the guy that a lot of people just looked at and downgrade, you know what I'm saying, labeled him a bust. Sean Payton wanted him to be on display and be like, oh, you know, that's why man, go look at my Twitter. I said, I guarantee you, if Kevin White played tonight, I guarantee you Sean Payton gonna try to dial up a street route for him. And he did that. And he dropped it. Then there was another play that he tried to do, which he was open. Like, Jameis, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jameis caught him, he just couldn't catch the ball. So That was Sean Payton like, okay, man, look who I got. Y'all probably forgot about him, but look what I'm doing with him. So the fact that Kevin White was on the field anyway, when you have Lil Jordan Humphrey who's been on the team for 4 seasons, and then yet he has never solidified himself as a starter, speaks volume about Lil Jordan Humphrey. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. They don't respect him as being a starter on the team consistently. That's the reason why you've seen people like Kevin White out there. That's the reason why you got guys like Kenny Stills coming off the street. But you've been in this organization and in this system for years, and and you still out here, bouncing on and off the practice squad. Sean Payton should have drafted a receiver. He been knowing, we need a receiver, just wasting this great defense. Well, I think he was counting on Michael Thomas to be available. I just think that whole surgery thing, that surgery botch with Michael Thomas kind of set the team back. I think that had a lot to do with it. Hoodie Jew, thank you very much for the 199. Says, come join the round table over here, TJ. Man, I have to catch you on next time, man. Just let me know, hit me up, and I'll make some time for it, man. I try to see if I can make some time. My time isn't what it used to be, you know what I'm saying, due to like some new responsibilities I have now. But I can make some time, man. We'll try to make it work. Keno Arthur, thank you very much for the $5. Says, TJ, what would you give up for the wide receiver you mentioned? And will Sean making a play for any of them before the deadline? Old Tampa hasn't beaten anyone. Well, thank you for the $5. What would I give up for somebody like Beckham based on his production, based on the fact he's been injured over the years? I say about a 5th round pick. If Stephon Gilmore goes to Carolina for like a 6th round pick, okay, look, I mean, this dude was a defensive player of the year a couple of years ago. And, I like Odell, but this dude been living off that one-hand snag on Sunday Night Football for a couple of years now. And all these little pregame rituals, all this funny catching and weird visors and whatnot. Look, this dude's like just been making it off that catch. I haven't really been seeing Odell doing too much. Okay. I know they be trying to make him like look like he's been star-studded over the years, but he has not. So I say about a 5th round pick. I give up a 5th round pick for Odell Beckham Jr. Take it or leave it. Y'all not missing him. Y'all got all that talent at the wide receiver position. Y'all keep on getting all these different players. Y'all always seem to be having about 3 and 4 first round picks for some apparent reason. So, and then y'all haven't even really paid any of your young players yet. So you got plenty of money. So why not? Joseph say, hey, TJ, what are your thoughts on making Lil Jordan Humphrey as a tight end? I think that they already have Juwan Johnson. So Lil Jordan Humphrey being a tight end, I don't think that will work. Do you really think we're going to get a receiver? Bruh, if they're going to try to make a run at it, they need to do something. They need to do something, man. This ain't it. Okay, this ain't it. This is like, bro, you need somebody out there to be able to compliment Michael Thomas, and these guys ain't doing it. Will the Saints trade Michael Thomas? No, they will not. Is this a homecoming for Jameis Winston, or is it more so when they go to Tampa? I say when they go to Tampa. I say when they go to Tampa, then it would be. Carolina fans must have forgotten. Must have gotten off their high horse. Well, I don't know, man. Like I said, they're the Super Bowl champions. They got a right to be excited about it, but I mean, for them to just make it seem like, oh, they just gonna beat the brakes off the Saints, or the Saints can't play against them. Like, we know that's not true, and they know that's not true. They know it's not. They know it's not true. Like, they at the end they said, they got the last laugh as far as them going to the Super Bowl and stuff like that. That's cool, but for them to be like so dismissive of the Saints, like, oh, this gonna be a joke or this gonna be a walk in the park, man, you gotta be high. Like, there's no way in hell like they just gonna come into the Superdome and just go out there and just dominate the Saints. Like, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Like, if they win, they gonna feel it the next day. TJ, what's up with Bond? I only see him on special teams. Good. 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 Let's see. Let me see. I already read that. Let me go down a little bit. That damn DK and Laddie match up was was popcorn. Yeah, I mean it was exciting, man, but Lattimore got the last laugh. So TJ, don't tell me OBJ is in Jadeveon Clowney territory as far as being an underachiever. I don't want to say he's been an underachiever. I'm saying he's talented, and he's not in a cloudy territory because unlike Cloudy, Odell has shown that he can play the game of football, and he's really good at it. And for a while, people thought like he was one of the top 5, top 3 wide receivers in the league. Nobody has ever made that argument for Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney is a bust. Okay, all things considered, based on his production, based on the way that he plays, based on expectations, he is a bust. Some like we get so caught up in busts being bad, so bad that they're no longer in the league, and when their name come up, it just like, ooh. But that's not really what a bust is all about. Sometimes a bust can be in the league for a long time. For example, Tony Mandrich, right? They called him, you know what I'm saying, the perfect athlete on the front of the perfect prospect on a front of Sports Illustrated. He went to the Green Bay Packers. I mean, this dude was like getting ran over by defensive players, ran down, mowed over. But a lot of people don't realize Tony Mandrich ended up going to the Colts, and he was blocking for Peyton Manning when he first got there. So just because a guy's labeled a bust, you know what I'm saying, don't always mean that they just gonna lead the lead like Jamarcus do. To me, all things considered, based on with the expectations of Clowney, he is a bust to me. He said, Carolina, that's how much you thinking about us. Don't get nervous, TJ. Oh, man, okay. Bro, I promise you, I'm being dead serious. I don't think about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers until y'all show up. I'm being dead serious. Like that don't even cross my mind. Like it's like you out there shooting free throws and you playing basketball, and then all of a sudden your brother come out there talking about, man, you can't beat me. You can't. Man, I ain't thinking about you, bro. Like I mean, look, I love that y'all here, but I don't think about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like that. I don't care about y'all. Like I really don't. Like I don't like y'all. Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not the best team in the National Football League. I mean, y'all not. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all won the Super Bowl, but I can name about at least 3-4 teams that I know for a fact off the bat can beat y'all off top. And the only reason I'm talking about this right now is because y'all in the chat. If y'all wasn't here, I wouldn't even be talking about this. Like the title of the show was "Final Thoughts on the Saints Week 7 game." You started off talking about the Seattle Seahawks. Then all of a sudden, here come the Bucks. Like, bro, I promise you, I wouldn't even think about y'all. When you know what I'm saying, I gave Paxton a bath. That's my son. I put him to bed. I came downstairs. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk about Week 7. Then all of a sudden here, I see some Buck fans up in here. Y'all ain't ready. Like I forgot. Like honestly, I was like, okay, man, y'all so irrelevant in my mind, because it's not like I said, it's not like y'all all world and the Saints can't beat y'all. The only people that believe that y'all just virtually unstoppable to everybody that y'all play are the fanboys that y'all got up there in the national media that that just love themselves some Tom Brady and Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans, but we all know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know the Saints can beat y'all. Don't get it twisted. The Saints can beat y'all. And y'all know it. And maybe y'all the ones that's afraid because, I mean, this is the State of the Saints podcast, and y'all are here on a Saints podcast. So maybe we're not the ones that's afraid. Maybe I'm not afraid. Y'all came to my house, okay? I didn't come knock on your door. Yeah, so yeah, it is what it is. Shoot. So maybe y'all afraid. See, TJ, we can trade with Lions, Bears, and Jets or Miami. Yeah, man. As long as they get some good players, man, I'm straight. As long as they get some good players, I'm straight. But they need a wide receiver like a man in the desert need water. We're gonna read a few more and then we're gonna get up out of here, folks. They always over here. I mean, that's because the show's so good. Okay? That's because the show's so good. I mean, I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being over here. But for them to say, you know, aren't we scared or I'm scared or I'm nervous, like I don't even think about it. I promise you, Brian, I wouldn't think about the book before this show started. Can't be the Bucks and Saints, especially if we can Michael Thomas back and the defense shows up. Yeah. I'm good on my side, man. Me too. We are an average team with an easy A schedule. Are you a Saints fan or you a Bucks fan on this? Because I mean, look, this whole thing about Bucks have an easy, like we play the same folks. Okay, I will say this: we play the same teams. We might play maybe one or two teams different because we got the champion. We got the champion schedule. We got a first place schedule, and because they won a Super Bowl but they didn't win the division, they don't have a first place schedule. So they do probably play like the team that came in second place in the other respective division. Like, for example, if they playing a team in the AFC South, right? They'll play like the Colts and we'll play the Titans because the Titans won a division last year. So we basically playing the same teams. Like we playing all the teams in NFC East, all the teams in the AFC East, and we probably, play one team in the West. Like I think we played the Seahawks in the West because the Seahawks won the division last year. So that's just kind of how it works, man. So I don't want to just say, oh, they just got an easy schedule. Maybe they got an easy schedule up front, and maybe it'll get a little bit more complicated, but we going to end up playing the same teams. Okay, so we might have like maybe one or two different games that's different, but we all play the same teams. Whenever Mike T comes back, I'll take him. And while to get up to speed, he hasn't even practiced since last year. By the time he's fully good to go, season will nearly be over. Well, that means he'll be fresher than everybody out here. Let me see, man, get out your feelings. This rivalry, I'm not in my feelings. Like I said, you're on the State of the Saints podcast. I didn't come on your show. Like, where's your show at? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're on a Saints podcast. Like, and a Saints podcast that don't care about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, to be honest with you. I would not be talking about y'all if you weren't in the chat. I promise you. And honestly, that's probably the last comment that I'm gonna read tonight about the Buccaneers because I can care less. Hey TJ, to shut everyone up, let's just go out and make a statement this week. And trust me, I know we can do that. How good we are. Big facts. Yeah. I'm just saying, man. I don't know, man. I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that game later on in a week. But let's, yeah. I mean, Jack, he is there being cautious with him. Let me see. We are the NFC South champions 4 times in a row. Bow down. Yeah, y'all won the Super Bowl, but that don't count. COVID messed up the crowd. Nah, I don't want to do that, Ray. Nah. Their championship shines just as bright as any other season. I'm not going to take that away from them. They won. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I don't want to play that. I don't want to play that role because if the Saints would end up winning the Super Bowl, I wouldn't want them to use that excuse if the Saints would have went all the way. And I'm definitely not going to use that excuse because the season didn't end the way I wanted it to go. Statement Sunday, who that? That's all I'm saying. Like if I talk about it, like I understand that, but it's just not the night. I didn't even think about that. I mean, really, Tampa is the equivalent of the NBA team being trashed for nearly 2 decades. LeBron goes there, and all of a sudden they act like they've been great for years. Yeah, look, man, they got a lot to be excited about. Like, I don't want to knock them for that. I'm just saying, man, I just don't care right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to diss them, and I don't want to make it seem like it's just sour grapes. I just wasn't in the mood, or my mind wasn't really focused on it. Yeah, I mean, it just I was just so focused on this whole situation with the Seahawks. People talking about the Saints only scoring 13 points. Some of the narratives I've been hearing about the Saints team, as well as Jameis as a quarterback. But that's all I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm gonna read a few more comments, then we're gonna get up out of here. Josh, man, I appreciate you for being here. Appreciate you, on the content, liking the content and everything like that. I mean, feel free to come back. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I really do. But I said, I was like, man, what's going on here? I was like, it just caught me like off guard because I talking about the Bucks. I was like, okay, I know they play them, but I haven't even like really like as far as like research and some of the things that's going on, I haven't even really did that. Because I told y'all, man, for the last 2 weeks, I haven't even watched football on Sunday like that much. I've been just kind of spending time with my family and stuff, man. Saints haven't played on Sunday in the last 2 weeks, and I was just kind of focus on that. So, by the end of the week, or probably tomorrow evening, I have some information about that game. Let's read 2 more and then we'll get out of here. Any Bucks fans want to come join the roundtable tonight or sometime this week to talk about the Bucks game? Yeah, man, y'all check out Hoodie Jude, man. If y'all want to talk about the Bucks, they got some good Buck channels out there, man. Bucko's Locker, what I'm saying, a real respectable dude. He out there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got some good guys out there that's doing some Bucks content that I roll with, that I respect what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But but they got other Saints shows, that you can go on. I mean, you can be guests. Hoodie Jube just opened up the invitation on this podcast for y'all on YouTube. So y'all check it out, support the brother, and y'all can talk about it on that channel. I mean, he does a really good job over there. Really hands-on with his with his supporters. You know what I'm saying? He's taking them to the game and they're enjoying themselves together. And he does a really good job, man. TJ, I think Ayamada gets at least 2 sacks on Brady this Sunday. It'll be good to see him come back, man. He's in great shape from what I hear. Man, don't nobody care about all that play between the whistle. Yeah, man. Like, I mean, look, y'all know I can do my fair share of trash talking, but I'm like, man, at this particular point, I just know it don't really serve nothing. Like, this team is the Super Bowl champions. The Saints are a good football team. Both teams have limitations. Both teams are susceptible, for, to win certain matchups. It's going to be an interesting game. And not to mention, they play in the same division. Let's see. Can Buccaneers repeat as Super Bowl champions? That's my cousin. I mean, yeah, Isaac, I think they can. It's possible. They got talent on the team. Do I want to see them do that? No. Do I think they're gonna do it? No, I don't. But can they do it? It's possible. It's possible. But I just think that when you start playing so many, like, when I think about when you play the Rams, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get like them tough teams. You gonna get their undivided attention, and they're gonna try to hit you in the mouth. They're gonna try to hit you in the mouth. But I mean, they have responded. They only lost 1 game, and that was against the Rams. So gotta give him credit there. Does Traquan have a bounce back game because he needs one? In order for him to bounce back, that means the ball should have some air in it, right? I mean, this dude been flat for years. Okay, yeah, I like Traquan. You know what I'm saying? He had some good games, but I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been deflate gate going on around that boy career. Real talk. But does he need a bounce back game? Nah, he just needs a good game, man. He just needs a good game. It's been a while since Traquan actually really truly did something. I mean, dude, like, I don't know, man. I like Traquan. I've always wanted to give him a chance. Last season, I think he played really well, all things considered. But he ain't it, bro. Like, I'm serious, man. He ain't it. Like, he ain't it. Like, you got undrafted free agents that you would choose on over this dude. And this dude got drafted. He just not going to pan out and be what we want him to be. TJ, we should put Stills in the slot. He would eat. against nickel corners. And I think that's something that they need to focus on once Michael Thomas comes back. You put Thomas on the outside, you put Callaway on the outside, you put, to me, I would put Harris in a slot, and I would put Steels in the slot. That's how I would approach it. The 49ers game was the last time he had a good game. And that was, 2018? I mean, I don't know. If the Saints stop playing like the Saints, they will be good. I don't think they playing like the Saints. Like, the Saints have a completely different identity. And I think that's the issue that people have with them. That's why people are so upset, because of the identity change. And it's just so crazy, man. Like, man, it's just so crazy. Like, the things that we've been asking for years from the New Orleans Saints, people got a problem with. The Saints couldn't stop nobody on defense at all. Like, they were horrible on defense. We was praying, man, Lord, please let us make a stop. Y'all remember, like, when teams used to do them play actions, right? You know, when a team does that play action and then a cameraman just kind of slowly, you know what I'm saying, drifts the camera towards the pass, and you're like, please, you know what I'm saying? Like, you thought two things going to happen. The receiver was wide open, or it's going to be pass interference. Now the Saints have a good defense. Then all of a sudden, man, Sean Payton, run the football. Why we not running the football? We throwing the football all over the place. Why we throwing the football 25, 30, 35 times, 40 times? Why we putting the ball up in there? We got Kamara. We can run the football. Now all of a sudden, we running the football. Oh, we run the football too much, man. Why they ain't throwing the football? Why they ain't throwing it? Damn if you do. Damn if you don't. You can't have it both ways with that nation. You can't have it both ways. You can't have running the football consistently and throwing the football consistently. You got to have either or, right? You can't wish for a good defense one year and then have a good defense and not, like, come on, man. Like, give me a break. Like, we just never satisfied, man. We just never satisfied. We the ugliest 4-2 team out there, but I'll take it. Ain't nothing ugly about 4-2. You're a tough, gritty team. Like, this is a tough, gritty team. They're survivors, man. And you're not going to always blow teams out. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to always blow teams out. That's just what it is. Good teams find ways to win in any type of circumstances. The only difference is when the Saints roll, we so used to them like being like this tidal wave, you know what I'm saying? That just basically just, you know what I'm saying, that just takes out everything in its path. You know what I'm saying? We're not used to seeing gritty wins consistently like this. I take it, okay? Drew Brees throwing for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, and beating the team 28-16 or 35-14. Like, guess what? In the standings, a win is a win. Don't matter. Like I said, man, this has everything to do with people's psyche, right? And what things supposed to look like. You know, the South is full of traditionalists. Like, we like tradition. We do not like going away from tradition. When we have things that we're used to seeing, it becomes a part of our reality. And when those things don't happen the way that we look at them and how they became our reality, we get mad and we feel like it's not good enough. But guess what? A win is a win. All right. 4-2 for the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Look, just as good if they was throwing the football all over the place and putting up a whole bunch of yards. Still would be 4-2. So all I gotta say to all those people out there, deal with it and just be happy that things aren't as worse as they could be with all those injuries the Saints have had. Now you got guys coming back, and hopefully they can play much better than they did. At least they, set themselves up to make a run at it. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Finally, before we go, I see Tim just donated. Thank you very much for the $5. Says, "Sup, TJ, been here listening. All I got to say is don't get the Mario Davis angry. He is a havoc. Looking forward to Alma. Yeah, man. I mean, Mario Davis definitely took it upon himself to go out there for his teammates to show up and show out when all that jaw jacking and yip yapping was going on. So he definitely showed up and it also probably fueled his fire that the other guy that was arguably the best linebacker in the NFC was on the opposite side. So I think that was kind of a little bit of a motivation as well. But thank you all once again. Really do appreciate it. Much love to you. Take care of yourselves. Looking forward to giving you all content this week ahead of the game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. We'll be giving you all the information that you need. Keep it here locked to the State of the Saints podcast for all the content for your New Orleans Saints. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?